Good afternoon and welcome to Cat Chat Live. My name is Nancy Stevens, and I am so glad that you're with us today to talk about dining on campus with our UK hospitality friends. We are going to learn a lot about all the ways that your students will be well fed and what options they'll have on campus. But before we turn things over, as always, I like to go through a few housekeeping items. We do have some slides to review with you today. I would ask that you'd hold your questions until the designated Q&A time. I suspect we'll address many of the questions that you have throughout the slides. You're going to use the Zoom Q&A feature to communicate with us today. And I encourage you, as you're going through the webinar, check what other questions folks are asking. It may be that many of you have the same question, and so it's easier for us to navigate if we can take those questions kind of lumped together. We're going to plan to be together today no more than an hour. We know folks are busy and need to get on with their day, but we're going to take as many questions as we can in that allotted time. Today's webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be available later this afternoon in the Cat Chat family community, so you can be looking for it there. If at any point you have questions about your students' UK experience, you can always email parents@uky.edu, and we'll get you connected with whatever information you're seeking. We always like to get feedback from parents and families, and so after today's webinar, you'll see a survey asking you a few quick questions about what you learned today and what questions you still have. We'll be checking all of those survey results and making sure that we're putting out the information that you need as you're supporting your student in transition to UK. We do have more Cat Chat Live to come. This is really just our first week of our summer series. And so in a second, you'll see on the screen some of those upcoming dates. On Monday, we'll be talking with UK Transportation Services. Parking permits will be going on sale next week. And so we know folks have questions about that, or they may have students who are still figuring out if they want to bring a car to campus or not. So we'll be talking about some of those alternative transportation options as well. And then a week from today, we'll be chatting with University Health Services and with student well-being about all of the ways that UK supports the mental and physical health of our Wildcats. You can see from there the rest of the schedule where we'll be talking to Residence Life, UK Police, student organizations and activities, the variety of offices that support the financial needs of our students, and so on. I encourage you to check your calendar, see what you're able to join live. Those registration links can be found in the Cat Chat family community. If you're not able to join live, no worries. All of the recordings will be available there in Cat Chat, so you can always watch them at your leisure. I always like to put in a plug for the Cat Chat family community and make sure folks are taking full advantage of all of the good information that can be found there and all the ways you can customize the information that you see from the University of Kentucky. So if you haven't done so already, I'd encourage you to get into the Cat Chat family community, explore, discover communities, look at your notification settings and so on, and see all the ways that it can support the information that you get about the university. One of the things you'll see in there right now is registration for the university's annual Family Weekend celebration coming up in late September. I encourage you, if you haven't done so already, check out the Family Weekend website, which we can put in the chat. Check out what's going on, talk to your family, talk to your student about whether that's going to be the best time for you to join us on campus and see everything we have to offer. And then when you're ready to register, you'll go into Cat Chat and it'll walk you step by step through that whole process. If you have questions about Family Weekend at any point, email parents@uky.edu. So those are my housekeeping items. With that, I'm going to turn things over to my colleague with UK Hospitality. Devin, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Yes, very happy to be here with you all. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. So today we are going to just cover some information about dining on campus with UK Hospitality. If you have been to campus before, if you've had a student on campus before, you might have noticed it UK Dining once upon a time. But we are now UK Hospitality. We'll be the ones taking care of your students, making sure they're well fed while they're here on campus. Today, we're just going to cover a brief overview of how meal plans work and all the dining options and opportunities we have available for students. So to kick things off, we're just going to cover some meal plan benefits. There's going to be plenty of benefits that come with having a meal plan, whether your students are living on campus or off campus. College can be a really stressful balancing act for students, but having a meal plan is going to be a very convenient and flexible way to choose less stress. With a meal plan, meals are going to be made for you, so you can eliminate the need for cooking, cleaning, dishes, wasted groceries, which is going to mean time and money saved in the long run. With over 25 dining locations on campus, you're never more than 3 minutes away from a dining location. So whether you are in your residence hall, in between classes, or studying in the library, meals, snacks, coffee are going to be really easy to find. And then it's also going to be incredibly simple to take your meal to go. All of our retail locations offer to go for in-person ordering, and you can also skip the line and order ahead in the Grubhub app. So super convenient way to use your meal plan there. You can also take a meal to go from our 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining halls with the green to-go container. With that, you're going to pay a one-time fee of $5 for your container, and then you can exchange that for a professionally sanitized one the next time you come to visit and want to take a meal to go. No matter where you dine on campus, you're going to get quality food and experiences. Plenty of options are going to be available. We have our 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining halls, which offer chef-crafted menus and locally sourced ingredients. We also have national brands you know and love. We're going to definitely cover those throughout the presentation, as well as some locally owned and operated restaurants right here on campus. And then also some concepts that you can only get at UK. So super original and unique to our campus. Students can also look forward to a variety of options tailored for different lifestyles and diets, and weekly programming as well in our dining halls that's going to be included with their meal plans. But we're going to dive into those in more detail in just a moment. For now, I do want to continue by covering sort of the basics of how the meal plans work, and talk a little bit about what you can expect with those meal plans as well. So the 2 main things to remember about your meal plan is going to be the difference between meal swipes and flex dollars. Meal swipes are going to be a student's entry into either of the 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining halls. So once they are in that dining hall, they're going to have access to eat as much or as little as they like. All access meal plans that we have available are going to come with unlimited meal swipes. So they can sort of come with whatever frequency they want. They can come in and hang out with friends, grab a snack, pop in for an event. And then all the other meal plans we have available are going to have a set number of swipes to use. All meal plans are also going to come with flex dollars in different increments. That's just going to be their balance that they can use to pay for their meals or drinks or snacks at any UK dining location. If students do run out of flex dollars, those can be reloaded at any time on the UK Hospitality website. That's going to be linked right there to that QR code on the left side of your screen. And if they do run out of flex dollars, we definitely recommend doing that for a few reasons. First off, paying with flex is sales tax free. So you've got a built-in 6% savings right off the bat just by paying with your flex dollars versus paying with cash or card. And then we also are going to be offering flex reload promotions throughout the semester for fall and spring. So when you reload, you're going to get some free flex included as well. And then flex dollars that are left over at the end of the fall semester are also going to roll over to the spring. So you won't lose those until the end of the year. A few additional things to keep in mind regarding meal plans. Students who are living on campus are going to be required to have a meal plan. If you chose your meal plan in your housing application and you weren't really sure which one to pick, that's now going to be assigned to your account. So your student can log into their My UK portal to check that meal plan under their financials tab. Something else to keep in mind with that meal plan, if you do want to make any changes, you can now make those on our website. So again, scan that QR code and that'll take you to our website to purchase a meal plan. Whatever new plan you purchase is just going to replace that previously selected plan. Or if you didn't select a plan at all and want to replace that all access swipe, that's going to be the best way to do it as well. A couple of other things as far as meal plans are concerned. Students are going to be using their wildcard ID for both their meal swipes and flex. So that's going to come on their phone. It's what they'll use to scan into their dorms, residence halls. And then that's also what they'll use to tap to pay or to scan into the dining halls. And then meal plans are going to be billed just like their tuition and housing. So you'll get that all in one bill from UK, and any sort of financial aid, scholarships, student loans that are left over after that tuition is paid can be applied to your meal plan. So if you do want to look at the specific differences between our meal plans, because we do have 4 to choose from for on-campus students and then 8 to choose from for off-campus students, I am going to defer to the website. We're not going to cover the specifics here. So you can sort of compare those plans on your own and figure out which plan is going to be best for your student. So now that you know the difference between our meal swipes and our flex dollars, let's dive into where you can actually use those. So meal swipes are going to be used at our 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining halls, like I mentioned. We do have Champions Kitchen in the Gatton Student Center, and then Social House at the 90. So the Student Center and the 90 do serve sort of as the main dining hubs on campus, with multiple retail locations in those, as well as the dining halls. And those retail locations are where you're going to want to use your flex dollars. So these locations are conveniently located throughout campus. They're in academic buildings, residence halls, and libraries here on campus. Just to sort of highlight some of the main options we have available here. We do have 3 Starbucks on campus. One is very conveniently located in the largest library on campus, Willie T. Young Library. And then we also have 3 Blue Corner stores. Those are going to be our campus convenience stores. And then 2 Chick-fil-A's as well, because so many people love Chick-fil-A. Definitely one of our most popular locations on campus. You can also expect a bunch of new dining experiences on campus with new openings and brand refreshes to better satisfy students' evolving wants and needs. So new concepts like Dough Dulce and Bowl Life and Uncommon Goods for the Commonwealth are some things you can expect in the fall. And then we also have concepts like K-Layer that are getting a refresh to make them even bigger and better. As you can see, there are really a ton of options available on campus. Like I previously mentioned, we have over 25 locations here on campus and more to come, big plans ahead. But let's dive even deeper into sort of what those options look like for students. So if students do have a food allergy, for students with the top 9, we do offer Delicious Without stations in each of our dining halls. So these are going to be dedicated kitchens where everything is made without the top 9 food allergens. In the dining halls, we also have specific avoiding gluten spaces with gluten-free bread, fresh fruit, and even more options there. Almost all of our locations also feature vegan and vegetarian options with dedicated vegan stations featured in each of our dining halls. And then you're going to find local ingredients all throughout dining on campus. They're going to be key to our daily menus, with at least 20% of our menus featuring foods sourced right here in the Bluegrass. You can also find Kentucky-inspired menu items daily in each of the dining halls, with different stations highlighting recipes that are close to home here in Kentucky. And then the variety of choices are just going to continue throughout the dining halls with the dozen themed stations at each, and menus that are going to rotate on most stations each day. So some stations are going to stay static, like our salad bar, for example. There's always going to be pizza available, but those options are going to be available on our website each day to view and rotating on a pretty regular basis to keep things fresh and exciting for students. So we do have an on-site registered dietitian that works directly with students, particularly with those students who do have a little bit of trouble navigating dining on campus or need a little extra help. So she's going to be working directly with students, offering consultations for students with food allergies, any dietary or religious restrictions, nutrition-related medical issues, or even just general healthy eating. Students are also asked to self-report any food allergies or special dietary needs when they completed their housing dining application. So your student probably already did that if they're going to be living on campus. That information is sent directly to our dietitian. So she's going to get a report now that that housing application has closed with all that contact information for your student, and she'll reach out to them directly as well. Throughout the semester, she's going to be offering tours for students and families with concerns about campus dining. She hosts cooking classes and has her own educational pop-ups in the dining halls and at on-campus events as well. However, you can contact her directly. We do encourage that students are the ones that make this contact, so we would definitely love for you to pass this information along to them so that they know how to get a hold of her and can reach out and start building that connection now. So I mentioned before that we host weekly pop-ups and events in each of our dining halls throughout the academic year. These are also very popular among students. Great way to connect and take advantage of that meal plan. With over 50 pop-ups and events a year, these are a great way for students to get to know each other, to learn new things about the food they enjoy or try new foods. And then there typically have giveaways and activities for students to keep things engaging, unique opportunities and experiences that they can only get on campus in the dining halls. And then an opportunity to just make new friends and new memories and de-stress from class. So we definitely encourage you to keep an eye out for our announcements on these. You're going to be able to find them on our website and on our social media accounts, and we'll get to those in a bit. So one of our unique programs that we have coming this year is going to be First Year Eats. So these are going to be specifically opportunities that are unique for first year students to get acquainted with campus dining and with each other. So definitely something exciting to look out for and to make sure that your first year students know about. But as much as we do love for students to spend time in our spaces, eating, studying, socializing, we do understand that they have demanding schedules, and that is where our partnership with Grubhub comes in. So with the Grubhub app, students can skip the line by placing a pickup order at most of our retail dining locations. So we offer self-ordering kiosks at high volume locations like Chick-fil-A's to help speed up waiting times. Most parents usually do not love to hear about Grubhub because they're worried about their students spending too much money. But students actually don't have to pay out of pocket to order on Grubhub. They can use their Flex dollars on their meal plans in the Grubhub app. All they have to do is add their wildcard ID as a payment option. So super easy to do there. Ordering pickup is going to be no different than ordering at the counter of a dining location. So it's going to be the same price. And then you can use the Grubhub app off campus as well. So first year students are going to be able to get Grubhub Plus for free. So they can get free off campus delivery as well, just by signing up and affiliating with the university. And I'll sort of walk you all how to do that. So it's super simple process. First, they're going to make a Grubhub account in the app if they don't already have one, or sign in if they do. Then they'll go to their account settings, select campus dining, and then select University of Kentucky from the list of universities. From there, they'll just let Grubhub know that they're a student. So they'll give a few options: student, faculty, and staff, and then from that point, they'll be able to add their wildcard ID as a payment method and pay directly with those Flex dollars when they're ordering food on campus. So super great way for them to save a little bit of time when they're on campus. So next, I am going to cover some important dates for you all to keep in mind. So students are going to be moving in on August 15th. That's going to be the first day of meal plans for everyone. So all meal plans are going to be activated on this day. 2 weeks from that date is going to be the last day to downgrade your meal plan. So if you do choose to downgrade your meal plan after that first 2 weeks, August 29th is going to be the last day to do that for the fall semester. Those first 2 weeks are sort of like your trial period for your meal plan to get acquainted with it. Students are permitted one upgrade and one downgrade per semester. That upgrade can come at any time, but the downgrade does have to be the first 2 weeks of each semester. And then on December 18th, that's going to be the day that fall meal plans end. This is always going to fall on the Friday of finals week. So for the spring, January 9th, I believe, will be the first day of move-in. So again, that is when the spring meal plans will begin. And then the last day to downgrade is going to be 2 weeks after that. January 23rd. And then May 7th will be the day that spring meal plans end for spring 2027. This is also going to be the last day to use your flex dollars. So if you have any leftover flex, definitely want to make sure that you're using that by this May 7th date. Otherwise, you are going to lose those flex dollars. So definitely something to keep in mind, but still a little ways off of that. I know this has been a lot of information. Students coming to college, there's so much to learn. There's so many great opportunities out there for them to engage with campus. We're going to make it super easy for you, and all of this information is going to be available by connecting with us online. So definitely encourage you to visit our website here or connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. So with our website, you're going to be able to view those daily dining hall menus, our hours of operations. Like I mentioned previously, if you do want to make any changes to your meal plan, you're now going to make those on the website. Any special meal plan promotions are going to be applied here. You can also add those flex dollars on here as well. And any other FAQ questions are going to be answered on the website. With our social accounts here, this is the best way to get real-time updates. So if we have any locations closing, if we have any limited time offers, this is going to be the best way to get information about those things. Meal plan announcements, event announcements. Here's where you're going to want to get that. We also will be doing exclusive giveaways throughout the semester as well that are going to be exclusive to our followers. So this is pretty much going to cover your bases as far as the information that you might need to find out. But if you do need to contact us, we do have some contact information on the page as well. Always welcome to DM us. Those DMs are going to get a pretty quick answer. But if you prefer to email, our email contact is on there. And then the office number for the UK Dining Center, which takes care of all of our meal plans, is going to be available as well. And I believe that is all from me. Thank you all. Excited to answer your questions, see what all you have, and go Cats.
Devin, thank you so much for that great information. We do have a few questions that have started to roll in, and if folks have been sitting on a question that you're excited to ask, now is the time. We'll use our remaining time together today to address as many of those as we can. Our first one comes from Jenna. She's saying, do students have to select a meal plan for each semester, or do the meal plans just roll over?
Oh, that's a great question. So unless you want to make any changes to your meal plan, that meal plan that you select for the fall is just going to auto renew for the spring semester. So if you're satisfied with the meal plan that your student has, they're satisfied with that meal plan, you don't have to do anything once that plan is initially selected.
All right, our next question comes from Heather. She says, are meal plans use it or lose it each week, or do they carry over?
So it's really going to depend on what plan you have. So for example, our all access plans have unlimited meal swipes. So there really is no reason to track those swipes. With the weekly 10 plan, those are going to reset every Sunday. And then the other plans, so for off-campus students, we do have a couple of other options. The off-campus 175 and the create your own plans are just going to have a block number of meals. So they can sort of use those meals as they please.
All right, our next question is from Jennifer. She says, can you explain how flex dollars are tax-free?
Yes. So flex dollars, when you purchase with flex dollars, that is just going to be exempt from sales tax because it is associated with university purchase.
Our next question is from Rebecca, asking, and this is a good one, asking the difference between flex dollars and cat cash.
Yes. So something I always like to mention, it is kind of confusing because it is two university currencies. Flex dollars are going to be included with your meal plan, and they can be used exclusively for on-campus dining locations. So included with your meal plan, on-campus dining locations only. Cat Cash is a little bit more flexible. It's voluntary for you to add that onto your student's account. That is going to work similarly as a debit program, but it's going to have some expanded use. So you are welcome to use Cat Cash at our dining locations. We do accept that as a payment method, but you could also use it at the bookstore. You can use it at some off-campus restaurants. You can use it for printing. So it has a little bit more applications.
Thanks for clarifying that. Christine's asking, the hospitality website says you have to pick a meal plan by the 13th. What if we haven't?
So if you have not chosen your meal plan yet, and your student is living on campus, you were auto-assigned the All Access White plan. That's our default plan. That is the plan that we do recommend as well because it is our most popular and what we sort of consider the best value. But if you do want to make changes to that plan, you can do that. You'll just have to make a meal plan selection on our website now. So you'll just go through those meal plan options, add the plan you want to your cart, and then check out, and that new plan will replace the All Access White plan. But if you do want to just stick with that default plan, you don't have to make any changes. You don't have to do anything on the website.
All right. Our next question, meal plans are billed like tuition, I assume. The students will get notification it's due in their financials tab.
That's correct, yes.
All right, great. Always good to clarify and confirm. All right, our next question is asking where folks can check that they signed up for the meal plan they want. And it says, how do I change the email address associated with it? I entered mine instead of my daughter's.
Ooh, so with that, you should be able to check your meal plan in your My UK account. It's very possible that if you've made that purchase recently or you didn't make the purchase in the housing application, that it hasn't actually been applied to the student's account yet. So it might not be, you might not be able to see that just yet, but that's where it will be at eventually. As far as changing the email, you would have had to, if you purchased it on our website, you would have had to have included your student's email. But I would suggest reaching out to our meal plan office at that email address right there, and they can confirm that the meal plan is associated with the student's account.
Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be best to reach out. All right, Dale says, when we visited campus, there were robots delivering food to the residence halls. Are they part of UK hospitality?
Yes, so that is sort of a work in progress. Unfortunately, the robot delivery partner that we used through Grubhub did go bankrupt. So we are currently working on getting some new robots up and going on campus. I'm just not quite sure that that's going to be ready in time for move-in. But those are coming back.
Yep, those are always fun to see out on campus. All right, Holly's asking if Cat Cash expires yearly or does that roll over? I believe it rolls over. I'm not a Cat Cash expert, and you may not be either.
Yes, I am also not a Cat Cash expert. I feel confident in saying that it does roll over and that they can use that Cat Cash balance as long as they are enrolled as a student. I would suggest just hopping on Google and typing in Cat Cash UKY. It's going to be the easiest way to find that information on the UK website.
Yeah, I want to say it expires after 5 years, but I verify on that website, and Kate's put that in the chat so folks can confirm there. All right, our next question says there's a new partner for dining this year, correct? What kind of changes do you expect? And you touched on that just a little bit in some of those new dining concepts that are coming our way for the fall.
For sure, yes. So our new dining partner here on campus is going to be Compass Group. So they're going to be operating dining and on campus as well as in hospital, and some other ventures on campus as well, including the athletic facilities. So the first big thing that you're going to be able to notice, and this is going to be big for parents, is that we offered a 5% meal plan reduction for all of those on-campus resident plans. So plans are 5% cheaper than they were last year. So first big win right there. Another thing you can expect to see is some obviously dining option changes. So we have a ton of new concepts and brand refreshes within our dining halls as well. We are also focusing on making those feel more close to campus. So Champions Kitchen is really going to reflect our campus pride, and be a reflection of the state as well. And then with Social House, was previously Fresh Food Company, but that is going to be really a space that students are going to be able to connect, fostering community in that space, hence the name Social House. And then we have a lot of other exciting new concepts coming that are really going to hopefully offer some more options in affordability, and some things that were missing on campus previously as well.
Yeah, exciting things to come for sure. Our next question says, do Auntie Anne's and Chick-fil-A take gift cards? Our daughter received them for graduation, but we didn't know if they could be used at campus locations.
Yes. So unfortunately, because these are not like actual corporate stores, and we use like different register systems that are all an ecosystem for the university, not for those actual restaurants, we are not able to accept gift cards. The only location on campus where you can use those gift cards is going to be at Starbucks. You can load those gift cards into their Starbucks app, and those are accepted. But that's the only spot, unfortunately.
Yeah, that makes sense. That different point of sale systems and all that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question: are the Grubhub deliveries on campus free?
So any Grubhub deliveries, I'm going to sort of split that question up into two answers. So like I mentioned with the robot delivery, we currently have that offline. So that will be for on-campus restaurants. When that's back online, they'll be able to get anything off camp or on campus delivered by a delivery robot. There is a fee associated with that. With the Grubhub Plus, that is included for being a UK student, if they do get off-campus delivery, so if there's like I'm trying to think like a restaurant off campus that they really like, and have that delivered to their residence hall, they can get that delivery fee waived with Grubhub Plus.
Yeah, there's always perks to being a student for sure. All right, our next question says, to clarify, if we choose a new meal plan on the hospitality website, will it replace whatever he signed up for in the housing application, confirming that they won't get charged for more than one meal plan?
Yes, that's correct. You will only be charged for one meal plan.
Yeah, whatever the most up-to-date change had been.
Yes.
Okay, our next question, what type of Flex Dollar specials are offered during the semester? And Devin, I know you're great about getting that information over to us so that we can share those opportunities with families. And then they're also, I always see them promoted on the hospitality Instagram page.
Yeah, absolutely. Those flex specials and things like that, those special promotions that we offer are definitely a great reason to be involved in Cat Chat and follow us as well. Because we do always make an effort to get those posted so that you all can see those. Typically, with those, it's going to be reload like $100 and get $15 free. So pretty good deal. Getting free flex in addition to that 6% built-in savings. Pretty sweet deal to pay with those flex dollars.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not going to turn down free money. All right. Tracy says, I'm on the hospitality website. If we don't want to purchase meal swipes for Champions Kitchen and Social House, but only want the other restaurants, do we accomplish that through flex dollars? If so, is that the select declining balance amount on the hospitality website?
So if your student is living on campus, they are required to have an on-campus resident plan. With that plan, the meal swipes are going to be included in each of those plans. So if your student's living on campus, they have to have one of those 4 plans, which is going to include the meal swipes. You can add additional flex dollars to use at the retail locations. So like Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, spots like that. And you would use that declining balance function on the purchase page for that. If your student's living off campus, you can purchase flex only plans. So we do have a couple of flex only plans that are available for those off campus students, but only off campus students can purchase those.
All right, Tracy's son's off campus, so he can do that flex only option.
Yes.
And I always recommend for our students living off campus to look at those different meal plan options, because I think Our students can build so much community by hanging out on campus in between classes and taking advantage of the special events that you all do. And so I encourage folks not to just assume that they don't need a meal plan just because they're living off campus. And I'm sure you all talk to students about much of the same things.
Absolutely, yes, especially for first year students. I mean, it's a big adjustment coming to college for your first year and trying to balance things with school, making friends, new clubs. So just having that meal plan and being able to take all of that stuff just out of the equation and having it handled for you is going to be really helpful. And also, there's a lot of financial benefit as well with having a meal plan when you're living off campus. It's going to be cheaper to eat on campus than eat off campus. And you're definitely going to save time in the long run, not having to cook meals every day.
Yeah, I've heard of students both in the residence halls and living off campus who had big plans. They like brought pots and pans and thought they were going to use the community kitchens to cook. And when push comes to shove and you get busy, sometimes it's just easier to let someone else take care of that for you.
Definitely.
All right, Anne's question: does the Starbucks on campus accept ordering/payment via the Starbucks app?
Yes, so we do offer mobile order pickup through the Starbucks app, and they can pay with the Starbucks app as well. So, like I mentioned previously, is with the gift card conversation, that is the only place that we do sort of accept those gift cards and that app payment on campus.
Okay, next question. Sherry is asking if students can use cash to pay on campus.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to accept at all of our locations. They're going to be able to use cash, any sort of major credit cards, Cat Cash, Flex Dollars, and then meal swipes for the dining halls as well. So plenty of ways to pay. There are just, the inherent benefits of paying with a meal plan.
Yeah, the convenience of not having to carry it. I will put a plug in for the mobile ID. I know you mentioned that earlier. That students' meal plans and those flex dollars are loaded on their ID cards, and students do need to set up that mobile ID. I know we've been watching the numbers of incoming students who've gone ahead and taken care of setting up their mobile ID, and it's not quite as high as we would like to see it at this point in the summer. And so if you know your student hasn't set up their mobile ID, Kate put the link in the chat with more information. Nudge them to get that taken care of. It'll make things so much smoother once they get to campus in terms of getting settled in their residence halls, having access to their meal plans. So we want them to go ahead and take care of that sooner rather than later. All right, Brent is asking about the weekly programming, which I have kind of an offshoot question of that. I know you all do so many fun events throughout the school year. Do you have any personal favorites, ones that you're excited to see coming back this fall?
Yes, we always have so many. So it's sort of a mix of things. I'm actually going to pop back to that slide real quick. Just to sort of talk specifically about some of the things we do. So we're going to be, with the new dining partner, we do have some new programming that we're going to be offering this year. So teaching kitchens where students can get some hands-on learning and some cooking skills as well. First year each, like I mentioned, which is going to be very freshman first year focused. DIY pop-up. So this is going to be like opportunities where they can do like a loaded mac and cheese bowl and pick all their toppings. Or like in the past, we've done like a dirty soda bar, things like that. They're really just a fun, exciting little addition to the daily offerings within the dining halls. Our milestones programming is sort of built out to follow them all throughout their school year and then throughout their entire college career. So we have different programming for each sort of milestone: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. And then with United Through Food, we're going to have some sustainability based programming. So we have one of my favorite events is actually our Over the Moon event. So we have like a completely local parfait bar. And we actually have our farm partner for the yogurt that we source usually brings some of their cows for students to interact with, and everybody always loves that event. And then we have like our supper club. So that's going to be an opportunity for students to eat family style. And we're going to have themed meals. So one that we have done every year for the past few years has been a murder mystery dinner. Students really love that, and it's always very engaging. And then we have big things that we do with different orgs on campus as well, like Big Boo Bash. It's sort of a fall festival event that we do with campus housing. And then we have our Plant Forward picnic in the spring. So this is sort of like a plant-based meal that we have outside with picnic tables, and we have like a build your own bouquet bar. So always fun and exciting stuff that's going to be completely free for students with a meal plan.
I know when y'all did Over the Moon last year, there was a lot of chat on campus about it. You know, somebody popped in my office and said, "Do you know there are cows outside the 90 right now?" So yeah, you just never know what you're gonna get. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer's got some great questions today. She's saying, "What are late night eating options? We know college students don't always have the kind of schedules that maybe we're keeping."
Yeah, so that's definitely something I looked over because I usually mention that sort of right at the beginning with that meal plan benefits page. We do have options that are going to be available as early as 7 a.m. and then as late as midnight. So our Blue Corner stores are going to be open till midnight, and then K-Layer and Wow American Eats are also typically open until midnight as well. Dining hall hours, we get questions about that a lot. So they're going to be open breakfast, lunch, and dinner, continuous service on the weekdays, and then for brunch and dinner on the weekends. So Sunday through Thursday, they usually close at 10 p.m. And then Friday and Saturday, they'll close at 8 p.m.
One other thing that I'm wondering about are the green to go boxes. Are those going to be available this year as well?
Yes, they will be available. So I mentioned that at the beginning. I'll just do a quick refresher about that. So that is just a $5 one-time purchase. Students can get that, take their meal to go, and then we just ask that they, throw any leftover food away, give it a little rinse, and then when they come back to take another to-go meal, they'll just exchange that container for a sanitized one.
I think that program is so helpful for students who have a busy schedule and maybe are not planning on eating at times that the dining hall is open, but they can grab a meal and take it with them and eat it when it's convenient for them or when they're hungry.
Absolutely.
All right. Tracy's asking, if we start with Flex only, can Flex still be used at Champion's Kitchen?
Yes, so you can still use Flex at our dining halls. You are going to have to pay the door rate, so that's going to be pretty significantly more expensive than if sort of the breakdown of the meal price with meal swipes. But it's about $14, but it is all you care to eat. So something to keep in mind there. That's a pretty good deal for all you care to eat. So.
Yeah, for sure. And they can do it. There's so many options to choose from. All right. Benjamin's asking, does K-Layer accept Flex dollars?
Yes. So all of our on-campus dining locations accept Flex dollars. So you'll be able to use those Flex dollars at K-Layer. And we are really revamping that space to sort of hopefully be a headquarters for game days on campus. So great opportunity to pop in there before football games. We definitely encourage that. Use those Flex dollars.
For sure. And that's a great lead into Holly's question. Do dining hall hours change during big sporting events like football or basketball games?
So not typically during sporting events. We are going to have adjusted hours typically during any sort of holidays that the university observes or any breaks. But for those game days, they're going to be pretty standard hours.
Yep. And y'all are always so good about putting those shifted hours of operation on your social media. And I try to share those out with parents and families as well. All right, our next question, if you go to a dining hall for lunch and get your to-go meal for dinner, is that one swipe or two?
So that would be 2 swipes. So you would do your swipe for lunch, and then you can just let them know when you're leaving that you want to do a to-go meal as well, and then swipe that at that time. So those unlimited meal swipes can be used every 30 minutes also, by the way. So super easy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we don't have any open questions right now. So folks, if you've got final questions in our last 15 or so minutes, go ahead and put those in there. Oh, great one just came in. It says, can you use Flex dollars at concessions for sporting events?
So at the moment, there is only one station where they can use those. So it's going to be the concession stand that is the closest to the student section in the football stadium. They can use their flex dollars there. Currently, that's the only one, but we are working to expand that out. That's one small reason amongst many why the UK decided to enter into this new partnership with Compass Group so that we can make it truly one campus where students or faculty and staff or parents can get a meal at anywhere on campus, whether it's the hospital or the academic buildings on campus or the football stadium, and be able to expect a similar experience across or use their meal plan across all those channels. So more to come on that.
All right, great. That's good to know. Okay, so get those final questions in, folks. And in the meantime, Devin, I know you are and your team are so creative about, putting ideas for different meals in the dining halls. I think sometimes you hear, and this is college students all over the country, folks saying, oh, well, I'm seeing the same options. I want to do something new. And I think there's so many creative ways for students to take advantage of the different stations in the dining hall. So what are your favorite kind of meal hacks or secret meals that you put together in the dining halls?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely encourage students to hack the dining hall, as we call it. We'll definitely be posting those dining hall hacks throughout the semester on our social media accounts. But just keeping in mind that you are not limited to one station once you're in those dining halls. If you want to go grab a dinner roll from the home style station, and then grab a chicken patty from the grill and make a little chicken sandwich, you can definitely do that. Something I like to do every now and again is to make a sushi bowl. So grabbing some tuna, and tuna, cucumber, from things like that, carrots from the salad bar, grabbing some guacamole from the Southwest station, and then going over to our spice and sauce station, getting some soy sauce, some sriracha. So you can really combine things from different stations to really customize your meal. Sometimes it does take just a little bit of thinking for just a second. Okay, what can I create today? But yeah, like Nancy mentioned, we are pretty good about posting those on our social media as they come to mind as well, just to give people ideas on how to break things up.
Yeah, I love looking at people's plates when I'm eating Champions Kitchen's ones that is closest to my office, so I'm in the most. But love looking at people's plates to see, okay, oh, they went chicken and waffles today, or I love to do a fried chicken salad and go through the salad bar and then stop over at the grill and pick up some chicken tenders to put on there. So yeah, there's lots of creative ways to take advantage of all those options in the dining hall. All right, Jennifer just asked, I was looking at My UK in the financial sections and don't see which meal plan has been selected. Do we need to get to log into the Get app to see it?
So you might be able to see it in the Get app. It's also very possible that it just hasn't been applied to the student's account yet. So once we get those, that housing application did just close on Sunday. So our meal plan office is pretty actively working on getting all those plans applied to students' accounts. So it might just be possible that it's not viewable at the moment because your student just hasn't been hit yet on the list. But you could, definitely try the Get mobile app. It might show there.
Yeah, and there, obviously, folks want to make sure that that's all settled, but got a little bit of time before we need to worry about it and see it there.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. So no other open questions right now. We'll give folks just another minute or so. Do you have any final tips, words of wisdom, things that we haven't touched on yet? I wanted to make sure we touched on favorite events and favorite meals, and we've covered that.
Nothing really comes to mind at the moment. We definitely just encourage students to make the most and take advantage of to all the options that we have. Use that website and those social media accounts as tools. That's always going to be a great source of information. It can become pretty easy once you're on campus to get into a routine and sort of get used to going to the same places and walking the same routes. as you sort of get into your class schedule and, having to study at certain times or having events throughout the week with your clubs and organizations. So definitely encourage, just to keep things fresh and try some new things throughout the semester, just to find out what you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that routine's important, but sometimes breaking up the routine to keep it fresh is just as important for sure. All right. Well, I think we have helped all the folks today, taking all those open questions. We'll make sure that we leave contact information. Kate's put it in the chat. If at any point folks want to reach out, they can also email parents@uky.edu. Kate's put a good reminder in the chat about family weekend registration as well. As always, appreciate Kate being behind the scenes, keeping those links and important dates and contact information coming in the chat. Devin, thank you so much for making time today to walk folks through this and answering all of the questions. It's exciting times with our new campus partner and the new era of UK hospitality. So appreciate you walking folks through that. And I know you'll continue to get updates to us so that we can put information in the Cat Chat family community and make sure folks are seeing those updates throughout the school year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and got some thank yous starting to come in, but appreciate everybody making time to join us for today's Cat Chat Live, and hope you feel comfortable that your students, dining needs are going to be well taken care of on campus. Don't hesitate to reach out as additional questions come up moving forward, and we hope to see you for a future Cat Chat Live again soon. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.